How many of you wish that your friends showed a little more interest, asked a few more follow-up questions, were a little bit more curious? I know almost listening to all of you write in and share your experiences and stories with me, and from my own experiences, I know that it's in short supply. We all want to be heard, and it's so easy to not feel like the others want more of us, right? And so we're all very sensitive about not wanting to overtalk or not wanting to bore anybody, or we don't know if it's interesting enough or a big enough problem. And so it's very easy for us to act like it doesn't matter, that we don't matter, that we shouldn't make too big of a deal about something. And we have all these stories that we play in our heads that sometimes prevent us from really opening up and letting the attention just be on us for a little while. I'm doing a series right now on ways that we can respond for our friends, and which means the ways we want people to respond to us as well. And so this helps us be able to ask for it. I'll show us how to do that in this video too. But being able to just respond in a story as we have a conversation with each other. I shared in the first video 9 different ways of how we can ask for what kind of responses we want and how we can be curious. And those are actually a really good video to kind of pull into this one a little bit, because in this one what I want to talk about is the tool of curiosity. Like, if we only have a few different ways to respond to our friends, if we need to kind of like pick the top ones, curiosity should be at the very, very top. Curiosity is the I'm interested in you, tell me more. That's the intent behind curiosity. Curiosity says to our friends, it's okay, keep going. Like, I want to know you. I want to learn more about what you're thinking. You're safe telling me. I'm curious, I'm interested. And that's the gateway that most of us need. Most of us don't want to just be talking unless we feel like the other person is interested. And every single one of us dreams of being interested, interesting. We want people to care enough to want to know more, to inquire, to go further, to go deeper, to give us 10 more minutes, right? So curiosity is such an amazing gift we can give to our friends. When they're talking, it's so easy to feel like we need to be like, what advice should I give? How can I encourage them? How can I fix this for them? How can I be wise? And the truth of the matter is, we don't have to do any of that. Most people aren't asking for those things. Most people are just wanting to talk and learn and think about themselves and be witness. We can follow it up with questions that say, and then what did you do after that? And then how did that feel? And have you felt this way the whole time, or do you find yourself bouncing back and forth between different feelings? And what wisdom did you think in that situation? And what did you draw from there? And when you were talking to so-and-so, what did that feel like? And so we can just ask questions that help them kind of see their own answer, have their own wisdom, which is really such an amazing gift. Most of us want to have our own ahas. Many of us have our own truth. Like this, I believe that we know what's best. It's helpful to hear other people sometimes, because then we can kind of try it on and see if that fits for us. But at the end of the day, we know. We're the ones who know. It's not like we're just doing majority votes here and that we need everybody else to give us advice. We know. So it's really important that we are helping each other know and hear our own wisdom by asking more questions. And one of the great questions we can ask, referring back to those 9 different ways, is maybe just being able to ask, what would feel most supportive to you right now? And maybe we can list some of them. Do you want me to share times I have felt that way? Do you want me just to ask you more questions? Do you want me just to empathize? Because I can do that. Do you want me to encourage you? I can do that. You know, what would feel good to you right now? Do you want me just to let you vent? I'm okay with that too. And so curiosity might be asking not just questions about the situation, but asking questions about what kind of response or support would feel good, which I think is an amazing gift. It puts the responsibility on them to stop and say, wow, what would feel best to me? And increases the odds of them walking away having been heard in a way that feels good to them. And where you got to be of service, because that's what you want to be. You want to be a good friend. You're showing up in this wanting to leave them feeling good. So the more clear we can be and say what would feel good is such a good gift that we can give of curiosity. And let me talk about from our own vantage point, if this is what we want from our friends. I love that we can ask for that. I love that we can be sharing something and to say, I know part of me is just trying to think out loud in this situation. I would love if you guys were to ask me some questions. Just help me think out loud here so I can hear myself. Like just being able to say that. Our friends are not going to be like, no, I have advice I want to give you. Our friends are going to be like, oh, okay. And they're going to start trying to think of questions to ask. We can ask for that. We can most definitely ask for that. In fact, the Quakers have a tradition that I love. And they actually, when they're trying to make a big decision, they invite a close, small circle of the most trusted people in their life. And the whole thing is like a listening circle where the entire intent is just to have everybody around the circle ask questions of the person trying to make decisions, which I think is such a cool thing. It's just asking questions. There's no advice being given. So we can ask for that. We can just say, I feel kind of conflicted on something right now. I feel discouraged around something. And I would just I'd love to have any questions that come up for you, because it will help me sort this out and think this through. And so we have permission to ask for what we want, even when we're wanting to ask them to ask us more questions. And so let's make sure that if we're somebody who's thinking out loud, if we just want to kind of explore something, if we're having big ideas around something. I had a girlfriend who's read a book, another girlfriend who watched a movie lately that she just absolutely loved. And in those settings, it's so great to just be able to say, what moved you about that? What did it tap in your own life? Like, why do you think you're resonating with it so much? To be able to ask questions, people are excited. So when they have something going on, they want to share it with us. So just follow up, try it, ask a couple different questions. You don't have to be wise. You don't have to have answers. Nobody's coming to you wanting you to impress them. They're coming because they want to feel seen in a way that feels safe and satisfying. And you can do that by being curious, by saying, I am interested in you and what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And any questions we can ask that help support that, that is what we're basically communicating. And we can say it out loud. We can say, I find you very interesting. I want to know more. One of my husband's best friends, it's so cool. He always says that. He's always saying, oh, this is another great story for me to put in the Greg file. Like, I just loved hearing more about how you think and how you work. And like, oh, I loved learning that about you. But do you do this in all situations, or do you find yourself doing this? And he's curious. Don't we all want to be loved in such a way? And so may we all ask better questions, express our interest, and be more curious.